Hi guys, it's Mrs. C back with surface area of triangular pyramids today. That's a little different than yesterday's square pyramids. Remember, pyramids, all of their faces are triangles, but they're named based on what their base is or what their bottom is. So in this case, we're going to talk about triangular pyramids, and you could have guessed that the bottom is a triangle on a triangular pyramid. So if I open this up, you're going to notice a couple of things. It looks slightly different than yesterday's net that we had opened up. The base is a triangle, and it only has 3 faces this time instead of 4 faces because a triangle only has 3 sides. So again, we want to start with what a net is and working from a net. So our first example is already opened up for us, okay? You can see the base is right here in the middle, right? And we're going to want to find out the area of all of these pieces. Now, if you look and you're saying, hey, all of those triangles are the same, you're right. This is an equilateral triangular pyramid, which means that all the sides are exactly the same. But not all pyramids are like that. So we're going to start with an easy example first. So first thing we need to do is to find out the area of this base. In this case, and only this case, where all of the triangles are the same, do you get to do this? Okay. Well, we're going to find out the area of a triangle, right? So area is equal to the base times the height divided by 2. I'm going to plug in what I know. I know if this side is 12, and since it's all equilateral, or they're all equal, that means that this side is 12, right? So it is 12 times the height, and they told us is 10.4, and we're going to divide that by 2, okay? So when I put the numbers in a calculator, 12 times 10.4, I'm going to get 124.8. I need to divide that by 2, and that is going to give me 62.4. Okay, that's the area for just one of the triangles. But remember, in this particular one, we have a total of 4 triangles. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to multiply it times 4. Okay, and that's going to give me a surface area, or the area of all the surfaces put together, as 249.6, and they didn't give us any units, so I'm going to write units squared. Okay, so that's how we figured out this first one, which happens to be an equilateral triangular pyramid, just like the one that I have here. But again, not all of them are like this. So what you're going to have to do is be careful. And the first thing you always do is find the base and then find each of the sides. And for every other example that we do, the sides are going to be different than what the base happens to be here. So we're going to take a look at the second example. And the second example has a lot of different lines on it, and you're thinking, oh gosh, what is this all about? So let's break it down. Let's take a look at the base to start with. So I'm going to write up here the base, right? So I know this side is 6 feet, and this line, this arrow is pointing to this line, which is the height of the base. Remember, it makes that little squared box there for you when it intersects the height and the base together. So I'm going to plug in what I know, right? It is area is equal to the base times height divided by 2. I am going to plug in what I know. It is 6 times 5.2 divided by 2. When I do the 6 times 5.2, I am going to get 31.2. I still need to divide that by 2, and I get, for the base triangle, 15.6 feet squared. That's only the base triangle. We also have to worry about the heights triangle, or the tall triangles on the sides. So I'm going to switch colors here so we can take a look. I'm going to find out the side now. And I'm going to take a look right here. I know, because of the types of problems we're doing, if this side is 6 feet, this side is 6 feet as well, okay? And my height for this side triangle is 8 feet. So I'm going to plug in again. Area is equal to the base times the height divided by 2. I'm going to plug in what I know. that it is 6 times 8 divided by 2. I know that 6 times 8 is 48. I'm going to take my 48 and divide it by 2. And I am going to get 24. So my area for one side is 24 feet squared. But I have to remember, this is only one side. How many sides on the triangle, the triangular pyramid? Well, I have this side here, the side here, and then the one on the back where I can't see. There are 3 sides to the triangle. So I need to multiply this 24 times 3, because that's going to give me all of my sides. Okay. When I do that, I'm going to get 72. To find the surface area of this entire triangular pyramid, I need to add my side, or sides, like all sides, plus the base that I have, right? So all sides together, we said, was 72. So it's 72 plus what I said my base is, which is up here, which is the 15.6, plus 15.6. And when I add them together, I get, let me change colors, surface area is equal to 87.6 feet squared. Again, guys, you can't possibly do this without scrap paper to write it down. There's too much information in there. So I need you to make sure you have a whiteboard or scrap paper when you're working on your IXL skills today, because it's going to get ugly otherwise. Okay, let's try one more example. Example number 3. And it's funny, I printed these off of 2 different sites, and this base is very similar to the base. Actually, the base, it's exactly the same for the other one. This was 6 by 5.2, and this one's 6 by 5.2. So some of the work's already done for us, but it doesn't hurt to figure this out. Okay, so when I'm taking a look at this, again, the base is what I'm interested in first. Okay, so what do I know? I'm looking for the area of the base, and that is area is equal to the base times the height divided by 2. So it is 6 times the height in this particular instance is 5.2. Oops, 5.2, yep. And I'm going to divide that by 2. When I multiply 6 times 5.2, I'm going to get 31.2, and I'm going to divide that by 2, and I get the area of the base of this pyramid as 15.6, and they don't tell me the units, so I'm going to say units squared. Okay, that's just the base. That's in the brow. That's not the side. So now I have to work on the side, right? So now I'm thinking about, well, I'm going to have the same base, right, as 6. So when I plug in my formula, area is equal to the base times the height divided by 2. I'm going to do the plugins. Area is equal to 6 times, and the height for the side is this one right here, because you'll notice it intersects with the base there, and that is 8.2, and I'm going to divide that by 2. So what I'm going to do is then multiply these two together, 6 times 8.2, and I'm going to get 49.2. I still have to divide that by 2, and that would equal 24.6 units squared, right? But I'm not done yet, right? Because that is just the area for one side. How many sides do I have? I have 3 sides. So I have to multiply this by 3. Again, the calculator is the best thing ever, right? So when I multiply this by 3, I'm going to use my calculator. It's 24.6 times 3, and I get 73.8 units. I'm still not done. That's telling me how much it is for all 3 sides, right? This is telling me how much this is for the base or the bottom. What do I have to do now? I have to put them together. So I ran out of room here, so I'm going to switch up to the top. And I'm going to say, hey, surface area is equal to, and I'm going to take my 73.8, and I'm going to add my 15.6, and I'm going to get 89.4 units squared. How did I get that? I added the base plus all three sides all together. I only need you to get up to 60% on this skill, but I encourage you to go higher. I encourage you, especially if you are thinking about going in the honors, to go as high as you can. I don't want you to be frustrated. I don't want you working on this for a half an hour, but I do want you to think about it. And sometimes it's just handy to think about drawing it out as a net. It doesn't have to be to scale in any way, shape, or form, but understanding with a triangular pyramid, the bottom is a triangle, and the sides are, of course, triangles as well. Okay, guys, that's it. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon.